Shalom Akyong. Hey, first and foremost, we want to give all honor and glory to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. We want to give double honors to our apostles, the great millstone, rule well. Peace and blessings to the house of David the elect. I'm Zahabin to my left.
Yashima.
Hey, we're still in slavery, man. The Most High made a franchise out of the 12 tribes, man. All right, and if you go back to the movie The Matrix was dead on. It shows you that the Matrix is the veil pulled over your eyes to distract you from the reality that you are a slave. All right, if you could get Baruch 3 and 8 real quick.
All right, this is the book of Baruch, chapter 3, verse 8. Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity.
We are yet this day in our captivity, man. For you blind bats, man. For you Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans that think you're free now. All right.
It says, where thou hast scattered us for a reproach and a curse, and to be subject to payments.
To be subject to payments, man. And that's what we're going to start this lesson off on, man. All right, basically you are still in slavery. All right, because part of the key elements of slavery is that you're subject to these payments, man. All right.
And it said, and to be subject to payments according to all the iniquities of our fathers, which departed from the Lord our power.
Now we're going to rip from the book. We're going to use a passage from the book, Dirty Little Secrets About Black History, Its Heroes and Other Troublemakers, by Clyde Anderson, EDD. All right? And if you could just start under slavery gave birth to capitalism.
Okay, come.
And just read out, get all that.
Okay, come. All right, this is slavery gave birth to capitalism. It said the international commercialization of black slavery changed the world and its economic concepts. The old European mercantilism was replaced by capitalism. Mercantilism meant profiting from the sale of a product. Capitalism means profiting from another's labor.
All right, so yeah, see, now you're seeing the beginning of what we call today capitalism, man. All right, this is the real birth of America, man. All right.
If I can make the example, you know, you have the owner of Amazon, you know, Jeff Bezos, all right, who's worth 150 billion, who makes 11, all right, $1 an hour. And how does he does that? Off capitalism. You know, he's benefiting off the labors of all his employees, man, because he's not working, you know, but he has an algorithm of employees and systems set up, you know, where he's benefiting off their labor because he gives them $15 an hour at the most, and he's making 11 million, man. You know,
and that's your Amazon, your Walmart. All right, it's a mega plantation. All right,
and it says the word factory was first introduced in the 15th century to describe Portuguese buildings that were used as holding places for slaves at points along the West African coast.
All right, so there was getting Israelites from the West African coast and bringing them to Portugal to produce in buildings, what they call factories. But the thing is, these were actual Hebrew slaves, man. And this is the beginning of capitalism. This is your first factory, man. A lot of us brothers still work in factories this day, man. All right.
He said the franchising concept is popularly known, was introduced by English Royal African Company in 1668 to establish a monopoly of slave trading of the slave trade industry. Like modern day franchising chains, for a 15% fee, the Royal African Company provided its franchise slave plantation owners with land, supplies, slaves, military protection, and a ready market for their raw slave produced cash products.
So Esau, the elites, gave Esau franchises in America. So they'll give them what's say land, tools, a military to protect your land, all right, and slaves for a 15% fee. Now what do you have today, man? You got 100. If you got 100,000 plus, you can get you a Taco Bell, a McDonald's. All right, they'll give you the building, they'll give you the kitchen, They'll give you the food,
The ingredients.
the ingredients to the food. All right, the management structure. You just follow the structure that's already given to you. And they give you the niggas, man. They give you the slaves. They give you the workers, man. Paying a minimum wage, man. All right, the slaves gotta take care of themselves now. That's why you get paid minimum wage, man. All right, you don't stay on the plantation anymore. All right, go ahead.
It said by the early 1800s, with a renewed interest in cotton production, plantation that had at least 100 slaves introduced a gang system of work. In the gang system, slaves were assigned work using the assembly line type process that revolutionized the use of slave labor, introduced mass production, and significantly increased productivity.
So Esau, that had over if a plantation housed over 100 slaves, they came up with a very effective way of producing, and it's called the assembly line. So they assemble all the slaves in a line, and that's where you get the concept of an assembly line today. It's rooted back in slavery, man. All right, it's rooted back in having a lot of slaves, man. They will. Esau wants you to think in your history books that slavery was just something that happened 300 years ago. It was unfortunate, but it happened, and we moved from that. Thanks to civil rights, marching, and getting bit by German shepherds. I know this great country that you see is rooted back in slavery, man. All right.
And it said raw materials produced by slaves fueled both Europe's and America's industrial and banking revolutions. You know, going with the Wells Fargo,
J.P.
Morgan, Chase.
No, because what they would do, what banks would do, they'll loan out, they'll send out loans to plantation owners, but the plantation owners will use their own slaves as collateral to the banks. So if the plantation owners can't pay off the loan, guess who owned those slaves? The banks. So you had banks such as J.P. Morgan that actually owned slaves, man. That's where you get the concept of a stock market. The original stock in the stock market was a stock of slaves, man. A stock of your forefathers, man. And are we still slaves? What language did Esau speak when he brought us over here? What language are we speaking? All right? What does your last name go back to, man? What does your mindset goes back to, man?
Smith and Johnson.
Yeah.
Jones.
Yeah.
You know?
You are a so-called black, white person, man. All right? In the spirit, man. You discontinued from your heritage, so your mindset, that's why you got Lil Kim and Janet Jackson, they all had plastic surgery. Why? Because they were still mental slaves. All right, but go ahead.
This is the book of James, chapter 5, verse 1. Go to now, ye rich man, weep and howl, for your miseries that shall come upon you. Your riches are corrupted, and your garments are moth-eaten. Your gold and silver is cankered, and the rust of them shall be a witness against you. You know, because Esau likes to boast about his old money, man. You know, and what the system that we see today, everything that you see set up before you here in America, even over there in Europe, man, it was started off the hardcore slavery, you know, of the so-called Negro, Latinos, Native Americans, man. You know, Esau just kept flipping that slave money, man. That money never disappeared, man. You know, Esau wasn't cursed, man. It was his time to rule, so he was able to continue to flip and prosper, man, because his blessing was the temporary fatness of the earth, man.
And the new plantation presents itself with different facets. So you have the sports world, all these different. Each arena is like a plantation. It's like a circus.
Yeah.
All right, but it generates so much money, and the workers or the athletes get paid nothing, basically, man.
Compared to what the owners.
Compared to what the man in that glass window makes, man.
Come on.
All right, the corporate capitalism is slavery.
Yeah.
It's you making billions of dollars off someone making minimum wage.
Yeah.
All right.
And then it said, and the rest of them shall be a witness against you, man. So how did Esau get all these this money, man? You know, how did he get high? All right, above us as curses say, man. You know, it all goes back to slavery, man.
That 400 years of free labor. You have a 400-year head start, man. Started from the 1500s in England. All right, to Spain, Portugal. All right, and y'all brought it over here to America.
Yeah.
But when the British, what they did, they set up a baby Britain in America.
God.
All right.
And it says, and shall eat your flesh as it were fire, ye have heaped treasure together for the last days. Behold, the hire of the laborers who have reaped down your fields, which is of you kept back by fraud, crieth, and the cries of them which have reaped are entered into the ears of the Lord of Sabaoth. You
Yep.
know,
And
so
you forget that. You forget
come,
that.
so you have the laborers. You know, the laborers is Israel, man. You know, because it's off our labor that Esau has became filthy rich, man. You know, the creations of Jake, man. The cell phone, the laptops, the internet.
Yep.
You know, the car engine. You know, Esau got rich off of the labors of Jake, man. All right, all the way to the day, man, till you see the music, the sports. You know.
And in every arena, Jake is the producer, or Jake is the talent, and Esau is the reaper of the production. Esau is the reaper of the talent. That's why a lot of Jakes they going independent, and Esau don't like that because the whole music industry was you brought a certain talent, and Esau distributed you, but you only got a fraction
Oh
of,
yeah.
of what you
Yep.
produce.
Yep.
You know, and that's just different. It's different industries, but it's the same. It's the plowman reaper concept. Someone is doing all the laboring, and then somebody on the other end of that great gulf is reaping all the benefits of that labor. And that's the full construct of Babylon.
Come.
All right?
And then like you say, Jake is a producer. You know, that's why Esau, you know, you see he makes sure he takes care of his producers in the music industry.
Yeah.
Because like you said, we all slaves, but Esau knows he has to make different slaves, you know, more comfortable
Yeah.
for them to be more productive.
Yeah, God.
You know?
God.
So like you see like Timberland, Dr. Dre, you know, they up there as far as money status, you know, of our people, all right? But that's because they're the main talent, all right, and the mind behind Esau's music industry, man. You know, just giving those two for example, you have plenty of others. But what Esau would do, he'll take an artist, you know, artist might not be that good. So he'd be like, bet, all right, I'm gonna give Timberland $1 million and he gonna work with you for a month. You know, and then that artist start producing all these hits, you know, and he gave Timberland $1 million, but this nigga from Esau finna send you on tour and make $100 million, man.
Yeah.
You know, off them hits that you made, you know, with Timberland or Dre, whoever he sent you to go be with, man. You know, Esau still in the cut reaping, man. Universal, Warner Brothers, Priority, you know, that's who really reaping the benefits, man.
Yep. And then you know, each industry, Esau is in control of every industry, whether it's a production industry, music industry, and it all has a system to break your pockets. Like the music industry has a system within the contract to break your pockets. The boxing industry, Esau he sets it up to where you get an advance, but it's a loan, so you have to pay back that loan on interest, man. All right.
One more. It says, ye have lived in pleasure on the earth and been wanton. Ye have nourished your hearts as in the day of slaughter.
Yep. Hey, that's if you want to speak on that, you can.
Yeah, that Esau, he had just nourished himself, man. You know, he doesn't have a righteous, you know, a way that he does when it comes to distributing, all right, the wealth that he has heaped up, man. Yeah. You know, Esau could pay way better than what he paid, man. You know, but it's meant to keep you, all right, at that same status while he constantly increases, man.
Yeah, and it's systematic. Real quick, get that Deuteronomy. He shall lend to thee. Because we're going to get the different aspects of Esau keeping your ass down, man. Anytime you are in a position of certitude or you got a loan, you're going to stay down generation by. If you broke and you die broke, your family's going to be broke, man. Because you have nothing to give to your family because you was too busy paying it off to Esau. We are in a living monopoly board, man. All right.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 43. The stranger that is within thee shall get up above thee very high.
And that happened during slavery. He had a 400-year head start. All right.
And thou shalt come down very low.
Yep. You're systematically oppressed, man. All right.
He shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him.
Now Esau, this so happens we call them the elite bankers. Esau has a banking system that keeps not just Israelites, but Americans in that.
Mm-hmm.
All right. The leading the first the easiest way to obtain their wealth is through home ownership. How many Israelites that you know that own a home, man? All right. You spend all your life working these same jobs that we broke down a capitalistic structure to
Mm-hmm.
keep your ass broke, struggling to pay for a mortgage or a rent, man. You
Mm-hmm.
can't own nothing if you owe something.
Yep.
All right.
And it says, "He shall be the head, and thou shalt be the tail."
You have to go to him. Now I said the stranger that is within thee shall get above thee very high. Did you get to the part where it said he should lend to thee?
Mm-hmm. That's why it said, verse, I read it again.
Okay.
Verse 44, "He shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to
You
him."
have a bank called Lending Tree. When you lend something, you loan something. All right. Now you got something called a loan. All right. And Esau oppresses you. Now you have Wells Fargo had to give out a total of 150 something million dollars to so-called blacks and Hispanics, which are northern and southern kingdom of the nation of Israel, because they was giving subprime mortgages or they was charging high interest rates to Israelites that had the same credit as Esau. So you might have so-so credit, and Esau charge you high interest rate. Esau had that same exact credit, and he'll get charged no interest or very low interest, man.
Mm.
All right, but that's keeping you low as a race, man, as a nation, because you're still in slavery.
Yeah, when you get cars, Esau lending you a car.
He's
You have to
lending-
constantly go to work.
You're not supposed to have to pay a note on a necessity, man.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you still speaking
I'm
though.
saying cars, houses, furniture,
Yeah,
appliances.
you gotta finance furniture,
Yep.
you know, but that's part of his system of keeping. Real quick, Proverbs 22:7. Because we're getting somewhere, man. The Most High is opening up the mouths of his people. That's why Esau invests so much in the sports industry, man.
Yep.
First of all, his empire is falling just like the Roman Empire, but he wants you to forget the fact. That's why it's a liquor store everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
All right?
What you say, Proverbs
22:7.
20? Okay. This is Proverbs 22:7. The rich ruleth over. It said the rich rule over the poor, and the borrower is servant to the lender.
The rich ruleth over the poor. How does the rich rule over the poor? They systematically oppress the 12 tribes, man. And we're not just talking about the southern kingdom, man. The northern kingdom or Central and South America. What happens is Esau goes into your country. If he can't get your leader to sell out, he'll mafia style leader, send a military coup, replace your leader with a puppet leader. He follows the agenda of the Western powers, man. And then what happens is they set up tourist areas in that same city, all right, to generate so much money to the international bankers, man, the International Monetary Fund, man. Then they enslave everybody because you become workers in that tourist area, man. You become a worker in the tourist area in your own country, man.
Keep their franchise going.
Keep the franchise going, man.
And then also they bring a lot of those Northern Kingdom, Central and South America Israelites up here to play baseball,
Yeah.
their soccer and shit, man. You know, they give those players they give them all their money, because why? They just made a franchise off their name, man.
Like the Jordan shoe. I mean, he's from the Southern Kingdom.
Yeah.
But they made Jordan, the nigga could jump high. Okay, great. He's a great athlete. But they made a guy out of him overcharge you for a freaking shoe.
Yeah.
All right?
But they cost $5 to make or less in China, man.
Yeah, and they paying the workers a bag of rice a day.
Yeah.
The reason why capitalism is so great for the consumer, because you never question why a product is so cheap.
Yeah.
You don't realize that the reason why this product is so cheap because it's getting manufactured in a country where there are no minimum wage laws. So they can make you these socks, these belts, but the people that are making it, they live in the factories. A lot of times they live in the factories. They live in little, I forgot what you call it, but it's basically like a slum village within the factory, and they're basically getting paid a bag of rice a day.
Yeah.
But if Esau doesn't pay the workers, it's easy for him to sell the product cheap.
And it's all set up in the same system. Cause what did Esau do? He idolizes Jordan, cause you still see Jordan commercials of what he was doing in his career. Like you said, he made him into a god, a deity, and then he does that through his media, but then he gets the product, all right, that makes the Jordan, all right, he gets the people that make the Jordan product over there in China. He gets all that cheap labor to make the product and then brings it back over here and sell it for $200-300, man. You know, it's the same system. Esau has a whole system set up, man. And yeah, the sweatshops, man.
Yeah.
You know, the China as a whole is like a big ass sweatshop, man.
Yeah.
You know,
Places in Central South America.
yeah.
A lot of that. Going back to the prison industrial complex. Going back to I'm select if I just sound overly enthusiastic, but I'm in the spirit, man. All right, the prison industrial complex, man. The first system of slavery got illegal, right? So Esau was like, okay, we got to plan B this thing, man. So they went from having a $1 trillion market, $1 billion market of slavery to a new form of slavery, which is the prison industrial complex. That's why Esau is always throwing Jake on the news. He has to push that criminal narrative on Jake, man. So-called black and Hispanics, because that's who he wants to be in the prison system. Why? Because some of these same corporations that we just named that has these sweatshops, the new sweatshop is the prison industrial complex, man. Because I can put you in prison under a private corporation and you can make a product for free, but that same product that I'm paying you 10 cents a day in the prison system, I would have to charge the average American at least the average minimum wage law price. So, you know what type of increase that is on my profit for paying you 10 cents a day as opposed to $8 a day? I mean, 10 cents a day as opposed to $8 an hour, man? Prison industrial complex. But Esau has all these different forms of slavery under his rulership, man. Esau's gonna make sure that he's way up here and you're way down there, man. All right.
This is the book of Haggai, chapter 1, verse 6. Ye have sown much and bring in little. You eat, but ye have not enough. Ye drink, but ye are not filled with drink.
Yeah, because you don't get paid nothing, man. You're working to fill up your gas tank to go back to work. You get enough money to put food in your body, which turns into energy, so you could be living energy or living labor for 8 to 10 hours a day, if not more. Your existence is your hands and feet in Esau's corporation, which generates millions, if not billions of dollars, man. He spins that thing off, man. All right.
It said, but ye are not filled with drink, ye clothe, but there is none warm, and he that earneth wages to put into a bag with holes.
Yeah.
And it really don't matter how much you get, man. You know, because at the end of the day, the vast majority of Jake, all right, is gonna die broke, man. You know, with nothing to leave behind, man.
But yep.
Even the ones that make, if I could say,
You got this, brother.
you know, even the ones that make millions of dollars, man. These athletes, how many athletes die broke, man?
You're gonna live rich and die broke.
So just because you had those millions coming in, it's still like you put in the bag with holes, man.
Yeah, because you don't, first of all, you were born and raised. First of all, you're under mind control. You were born under mind control. You were conditioned from the time you were a baby to be a consumer. So when you become an athlete and you get millions of dollars, you're groomed. Your brain already tells you to consume. It doesn't tell you about generational wealth or any of that. You know, your brain. So you gonna spend it like a nigga, man. But Esau already has it set up to where you gonna get his money right back to me.
They had like a little. It's some show on HBO. They had LeBron and them talking on like LeBron, Odell Beckham. You know, some athletes and different entertainers and shit. They like they was in the barber shop, but he was like, shit, you know, just like you always go into, you know, Jake, a millionaire Jake is way different than the millionaire Edomite.
Yeah.
You see, a millionaire Jake, he was like, you know, you gotta take care of your mom. So he like, if you give your auntie, if you give your nephew, you know, 10,000, his mama gonna want 20,000. You know, then you gotta already take care of your mama. You know, somebody died, you got to pay for every funeral of the family. You know, you got to pay, you know, for everyone that goes to college. You know, so a millionaire Jake and a millionaire Edomite is completely different, man.
Yep.
You know?
Yep. Because a millionaire Edomite, he has a whole system behind him to make him an Edomite. Like, you know, one Jake, I forget his name, but he's an attorney. He was breaking down on YouTube. You graduate from law school, you make $100-some thousand a year. You got a whole network of people in your family that you have to take care of because they're broke. But Esau has a whole network of people to put him in college. Esau has a whole network of people that put him in an entrepreneurship position.
Yep.
If he's not in a position of ownership, he's in a management position. Jake, your whole paradigm is the opposite. You're just you struggling, so you just hope to get hired by that same Edomite, man. All right.
And like you say, that Edomite millionaire, his mama a millionaire,
Yeah.
his dad a millionaire,
Yeah, come.
his auntie a millionaire.
His uncle was a millionaire.
You know, so he ain't got all this stress.
Yeah.
You know, with Jake, you know, you like how Jake go broke. Well, if you got, you know, hundreds of people depending on you, you know.
Then you compassionate.
Yep.
You don't know how to say no.
Yep.
You know.
Well, it said, like scripture say, riches get wings, they fly away, man. You know.
Next thing you know, you're on a reality show. You know.
You know. This is Zechariah 11:5. I started at 4. Said, thus said the Lord power, feed the flock of the slaughter, whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty.
Hey man, you don't hold yourself guilty from slavery. You're not holding yourself guilty from systematically slaying us, or even what you're doing to Jake in the street. Although we know that that's a judgment, but you know, cop here write a book, get paid vacation. You know.
Done.
All right.
And then it says, and they that sell them say, blessed be the Lord, Yahweh Shema Shai, for I am rich, and their own shepherds pity them not.
Yep.
And said, blessed be the Lord, I am rich, man. You know, they that sell them, man, because you know, like you said, you know, Esau kills Jake's. You know, they'll shoot Jake down in the streets, but also with these sports, man, like the movie Concussion. You know, that's a form of slaughter, man.
Yeah.
This NFL, man, what's the CTE? You know, the head trauma that you get from all that contact, man. You know, so Esau, he can shoot you in a quick death, or he can put you on, all right, his team, you know, and give you that slow death, man. Because a lot of players, NFL players have committed suicide, which they don't advertise, man. They don't put that in the media, but it's a lot of NFL players commit suicide due to their condition of CTE, man.
Yeah. Then a lot of you all have dementia.
Yeah.
And what happens is you run out of the NFL money because you got to pay the doctors.
Yeah.
Years after years after years of paying doctor bills, the doctor's expenses. You got dementia, so you want to sue the NFL, but Esau's through with you. You're a throwaway. It's like Jake fight pit bulls, and the pit bull gets injured. You just throw it somewhere. You know.
Cause it's just like you said, the assembly line. It's a assembly line of athletes, man. Because they train these athletes from 5 years old to middle school. All right, so from elementary, middle school, junior high, high school, college, and they're just weeding out the greats. You know, the best of their talent, man.
It's a breeder for them.
Yep. So you got, you know, just like this nigga Tony O'Brien, which, you know, he just a nothing nigga, but you know he's making this rant, you know, about a team signing him as a receiver. But you gotta understand, Esau got a million of you out there, man. You know, they play their same position, man. All these young Jakes from the get ready to come out of college, you just one product, man. All right, you're nothing than the cash register at Walmart to Esau. You know, you just a asset to him, man. You know, and he has plenty of them, man.
Like,
you know,
the brother back here at Tazawam, he made the point. You know, you watch the movie 12 Years a Slave. The Edomite slave owner got one of his slaves to show him to another Edomite to show how healthy he was. He told the slave, jump up, you know, to show how healthy you are, move your legs, jump. And what happens is that's no different from what do you call it when you have
the NFL combine?
The NFL combine when the prospect players have to show how athletic and agile they are so they can get picked up by somebody, man. All right, you are a modern day slave, man. All right.
And then like going back to the franchise, you know, and with sports, you know, you have something what's called a franchise tag, which means Esau, you know, will label you, you know, as the face of the franchise. You the standout player of their franchise, man. You know, and with the NFL, like you were talking about the franchise, if you have enough money, you can buy a team and you can join the NFL. And what are the perks of joining the NFL? You already have a league. You know, they'll give you a sponsor. You know, get a stadium. You know, they'll give you a logo. They'll give you their distribution and their marketing and their advertising.
Just like in slavery.
Just like in slavery, man. It's the same thing, man. Every team, each individual team is a franchise, man. You know, and Jake is that product, man.
Yeah, yep. So they that make them are like unto them, so is everyone that trusted in them. Yep, hey, there you go. Hey, that franchise, man.
Done. And then like capitalism, you know, they give LeBron, you know, Curry, you know, these hundreds of millions of dollars, you know, but they constantly making money just off their name, man.
Yeah.
You see, because with LeBron, what you have when he comes to your city, the hotel prices go up, the restaurant prices go up. All right, it costs more to get in the club. Say you want to go out there now, it costs more because he here. It ain't like he gonna be in all them spots, but just because that name is in the city, all right, and who's reaping the benefits of that, man?
And the white man get paid off for
all
all
of that, man.
Yeah.
The jerseys,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
with the name James on there,
Yeah.
you know, Esau getting paid off that, man.
You remember back
You know?
in like what's that 2003,
Uh,
2004? Everybody had throwback jerseys.
Yeah,
You know?
Julius Erving wasn't getting no goddamn throwback money, man.
Yeah.
All right, Bill Russell, that was Esau. All right, whoever that nigga played for, man. You know, he brought them nigga back to life, man.
Yeah, what do you think the music industry has become? You know, you watch a music video now, if it's not demonic, it's just a 3.5 minute of the camera zeroing in on Esau's products. So it's a bottle of champagne or it's a bottle of something new hot thing, man. It's a 3.5 minute to market to you, man. All right.
Commercial. I got one more, bro.
And after that, we're gonna close out on Amos 9:13.
That was the one too, bro.
Ah, that's the spirit. That's the
And
spirit.
then and make one more point. And you know when you have people like that, like entertainers and athletes, Esau has high dollar insurance on those people, man. Like LeBron and like say Curry. Let's say somebody like Usher. All right, Esau has probably $3-4 billion insurance on LeBron, man. Because what they do, even if you work in the factory, let's say you real productive, because I used to sell insurance and I went to the class to get the license. Let's say you a real productive factory worker. If you a standout worker and Esau know you productive, he done went and got an insurance on you, man. Because how they do is, they be like, well, this worker, he makes this much money for me per year by his productivity, you know? So Esau will get insurance on you just in case something happen to you, all right? He can get that settlement, man, you know?
You know what? I won't be surprised. Esau sets up accidents on a job.
I wouldn't be surprised either.
I wouldn't be surprised if Esau gets certain workers, sets up accidents. So like if you died or something like that, like your family gonna get paid, but he gonna get paid.
Yeah, because if let's say what you do, you know, made Esau $200,000 a year, you know, what he'll do is he'll get insurance on you, and then he can show how much you make for him a year. So it's 200,000. They'll times that for the next 10 years, and they'll pay him for the next 10 years, which would be $2 million. You know, and like he would have made me $2 million in 10 years, and they go ahead and cut him the check, just like LeBron. You know, something happened to him, they be like, well, he would have made us $6 billion in 10 years. You know, so the insurance write the check for that $6 billion, man. You see. And Esau not gonna tell you, yeah, I just took out insurance on it. He's not gonna come up and tell you that, man. But that's what they do, because they told us that, you know, when we was getting our license to sell the insurance, man.
Yeah, and Walmart has something called Dead Peasants Insurance. Dead Peasants Insurance. So they get a big, they wide open with it, man. But they get a big increase. They get money if you die, if you're a Walmart employee. You know? It's demonic, man. We are in hell. All right, you got it.
It said, behold, this is the book of Amos, chapter 9, verse 13. It said, behold, the days come, said the Lord, Yahweh Shema Shai, that the plowman shall overtake the reaper.
Who's the plowman, man? The 12 tribes of Israel. We are all all the 12 tribes generally are in a subservient position to Esau. No tribe is neck to neck with Esau, man.
Nah.
All right, Esau's the reaper of us going to prison, of us selling crack, of us clocking in, of us getting a record deal, of us getting drafted to the NFL. All right, Esau's the reaper with the plowman. All right.
It say, "And the treader of grapes, him that soweth seed,
Yep.
and the mountain shall drop sweet wine, and the hills shall melt."
Yep. And that's pretty much the point. But the plowman, we're coming into that time now where the plowman shall overtake the reaper, man. Because you've never questioned why does the so-called white man automatically get the benefits of my labor, man? It's slavery because Esau keeps you in a position of servitude. It's a covert casting system, man.
Like I say, and then those entertainers, he gives those niggas that comfort so they can be more productive, man. You know, you don't want to, you can't go perform in front of these hundreds of thousands of people, millions of people watching, you know, and you stay in a 2-bedroom apartment, man. Esau make sure them niggas lavished out, you know, so they won't question him, man. You know, they pamper them niggas, you know, so they can be productive, you know, and they put that veil on like they ain't in captivity. Like you not in captivity, you got a yacht.
Yeah.
You know?
Those material things.
Yeah.
They all belong to Esau.
Okay.
It's nothing to give Esau to give you a cookie if he baked the cookies, man. All right. Did you have any closing statements?
No, that was it, bro.
And with that, we hope you brothers are edified. Once again, we want to give our unending glory to our Heavenly Father, Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Kakwadash. Double honor to our apostles, great millstone, rule well. Peace and blessings to the house of David the elect. To the next time.